People raised in toxic households. What happened when you finally spoke your mind? I grew up in a house where silence wasn't just golden, it was mandatory. My dad, Richard, had this phrase he loved. Children are to be seen, not heard. He'd bark it whenever I asked questions. Why do I have to go to bed at 8? Why can't I hang out with friends on weekends? Why does everything have to be his way? My mom, Linda, was worse in some ways. She didn't believe in feelings. If I was upset, she'd say I was being dramatic. If my little sister Kayla cried, mom would tell her to grow up. Therapy? That was for broken families, not us. We were perfect. At least, that's what they told everyone at church every Sunday. If I disagreed with anything, a rule, a chore, even what we were having for dinner, I got grounded. Sometimes I lost my phone for weeks. Once, I questioned why dad got to watch TV after work, but I couldn't after finishing homework. I was grounded for a month. No phone, no computer, no leaving my room except for school and meals. So I learned to shut up. But I didn't stop paying attention. I started noticing things, like how dad would brag to Pastor Jim about donating thousands to the church building fund. Except I'd seen our bank statements on the kitchen counter. Those donations never happened. He just wanted the tax write-offs and the praise. Or how mom would scream at Kayla for wearing jeans, calling her awful names, saying she looked like a slut. Then 10 minutes later, she'd be smiling on the phone with her sister, acting like mom of the year. The next day at church, she'd hug Kayla and post about being blessed with such a good daughter. I started keeping a journal. Not some Dear Diary stuff. I wrote down dates, events, things they said. I took screenshots of text messages mom sent Kayla when she was mad. I kept copies of everything. When I was 17, a neighbor called child services after hearing dad yell at Kayla through the open window. Nothing came of it. My parents are great at playing normal when strangers are watching, but I kept a copy of that report too. I found it in the recycling bin after the social worker left. At 19, I applied to colleges, all out of state. I didn't tell them. I used my friend Tyler's address for the mail. When I got a full scholarship to a school 8 hours away, I knew it was my way out. I waited until 3 weeks before move-in to tell them. We were eating dinner, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, the usual Thursday meal. I set down my fork and said, I'm going to college in August. Full scholarship. I already accepted. The silence was so thick I could hear the kitchen clock ticking. Dad put down his knife. His face turned red. You're going where? Pennsylvania. I got a scholarship. Everything's paid for. I'm leaving in 3 weeks. Mom laughed. Actually laughed. No, you're not. You're going to state. 20 minutes away. We already decided. You decided? I'm 19. I'm going. Dad stood up. His chair scraped against the floor. You live under my roof. You follow my rules. You're not going anywhere. You can't stop me. The hell I can't. You're not getting a dime from us. No car, no money, nothing. You'll be begging to come home in a month. I stood up too, walked to my room, came back with a manila folder. I placed it on the table between us. What's this? Mom asked, but her voice was shaky now. Open it. Dad grabbed it, opened it. His face went from red to white in about 5 seconds. Inside were copies of fake donation receipts he'd given our accountant. Screenshots of the church portal showing $0 actually donated. Printouts of texts mom sent Kayla calling her a whore for wearing makeup. Photos of bruises on my arm from when dad grabbed me too hard last year. A copy of the child services report with the case number highlighted. I've been quiet, I said, but I'm not stupid, and I'm not blind. Mom's hands were shaking. You've been spying on us? Your own parents? I've been surviving. Dad tried to grab the folder. I stepped back. That's a copy. I have more. And before you think about doing something stupid, I already sent another copy to someone I trust. If something happens to me, or if you try to stop me, they know what to do with it. I wasn't threatening them. Not really. I just wanted them to know I wasn't helpless anymore. You're disgusting, Mom whispered. After everything we've done for you. You mean after everything you've done to me? I grabbed my backpack from the hallway. I'd already packed it. Clothes, documents, laptop, everything important. Kayla was standing in the hallway, eyes wide. I hugged her, whispered, I'll call you. You're not alone. I walked out the front door, got in Tyler's car. He was waiting like I asked. They didn't follow me. I stayed at Tyler's house until I left for school. My parents tried calling twice. I didn't answer. They sent one email saying I was making the biggest mistake of my life.